And now, without further ado, the reason we're all here tonight. I'm thrilled to welcome Robert Nujurai.
Robert is a graduate of Detroit University Law. He served as a trial attorney at Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, as you saw in the video, handling thousands of complex cases from attempted murder to major drug trafficking. Today, he continues to serve justice as a prosecutor with the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office. Robert is now making history as the first Republican candidate of Albanian heritage in the state of Michigan running to represent District 10, and to bring a fresh, principled, and deeply rooted voice to U.S. Congress. Robert, please come forward.
Thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart, and I want to thank the community for coming out to support us. And I'm honored by all of you being present. And I promise you, we're going to grind and we're going to work and we're going to send us, all of us, not just me, but this room, to the halls of Congress. And when I thought about announcing this campaign, I said, where better to launch this candidacy but here at home, with our community, with my family, with my friends, with my pastor, and our church, and you. Because you all have been waiting for this, and you all deserve it, and we're going to get there for you, I promise you. And as most of you know, this country was founded on the principles of God and family and patriotism. And society wants you to closet your faith. Society wants you to put God aside. They want you to be secular. But we're never ever going to forget why we came to this country, not only for economic opportunity, but for religious opportunity. And that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for you, and we're fighting for your families. And that's why we're launching this campaign from this hall right now to remind people what's important in life. And so I want to thank the religious leaders for uniting all of us. And I want to thank Baba Eledan from the Bektashi Monastery. Baba, thank you. We've developed a relationship, and I appreciate your support, Baba. And I know Hajj Guri couldn't be here, but we invited the Qadari, Bilal, and I think he's present, and we want to thank you for your support. And we share the same bloodstream, and we share the same values. And when we get there, it's an open door policy. We're never ever going to forget where we come from. And so God bless all of you. And I'd like to thank, even though this is God's house, the steward of this house is Father Fred. And I want to thank Father Fred for supporting us, for enabling us, for praying for us. Because with God's help, we're going to win this race. And as many of you know, priests don't make a lot of money. And Father Fred donated $1,000 to this campaign because he believes in it. So God bless you, Father Fred. Next, I'd like to thank the MC, Crystal. And we're honored that you were the MC, and you're a beautiful person, and you're intelligent, and you're well-spoken, and educated, and you're a family woman, and we know that you care about the community that you come from, and I think you're a great role model and example of this community, of a woman that can accomplish all of that and still take care of her family and her children, so God bless you, and thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank again Yamani, but who I call Jimmy, and you have an American dream story, Jimmy. You are the epitome of the American dream. And you came to this country with nothing, and you escaped the worst of circumstances. And you came to America, and you're living proof that with hard work, you can accomplish anything in this great country. And that capitalism works, and hard work pays off. And making no excuses, and starting a business, and being a job creator. And we're gonna fight for people like you, and businesses like you, when we get to Washington, D.C. And so we thank you for being a person that has a lot of philanthropy, and we're honored that you came up here and spoke. And you're a gentle giant because you do a lot behind the scenes. And so God bless your family, and God bless your business, and I hope it's all prosperous for you. Thank you. And so we all know that the American dream is real. Many of us in this room have experienced the American dream, and we're going to protect that. And I know that my story is only possible in the greatest country in the history of the world. And don't ever let anyone else tell you that America is not the greatest country in the world, because this room is living proof of that. And my family came to America in 1969, and I'm so happy that my grandmother, Nivula, is here, and God bless her. And my grandmother and grandfather came to this country. They're Albanian, and they came from Muncie, and they came to the United States and worked hard labor jobs. And my grandfather was an auto worker in Chrysler. And my grandmother washed dishes in Greektown. And I never forgot when I carried my briefcase every day to work, when I passed Greektown on the way to being a prosecutor at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, that just 2 decades ago, my grandmother was washing dishes there, and now I'm in a courtroom as a prosecutor. And that's the American dream that we're protecting. And my father, hard labor jobs, full maintenance man. My mother is a waitress, but they always sacrificed for their children because they knew that even though their life was limited, they could sacrifice for their children, the next generation. And I promise you, we're not doing this race for all of you. We're doing this race for your children because we're going to craft a history for ourselves and get this seat. And so faith and family was an important part of my background. And I know that that's at the epicenter of your life. And that's how you live. And that's how you raise your family. And so we put God up front and we thank God. And Catholic education was a huge part of my family's background. But I went to public school. I grew up in Sterling Heights. I still live in Sterling Heights. I'm the only born and bred candidate that is from this district. And they sacrificed working around the clock to send me to Brother Rice from Sterling Heights. And after I graduated from Brother Rice, I went to Holy Cross College in Notre Dame, Indiana. And I became the student body president of my college because I care about people and I care about standing up for what's right and articulating that and never backing down and standing for truth and justice. And after I graduated from college, I came back home and said, let me give back. And I joined the Macomb County Republican Party as a volunteer. And I knocked on doors. And I knocked on doors and I made phone calls because I care about the value system and I care about the principles of this country and why this country was founded. And never got a dollar in return, but I didn't care because I believe in saving America. And then I decided to pursue law school. And I went to Detroit Mercy and obtained my law degree, and then I was the president of the Federalist Society, constitutional lawyers and judges. And I decided public service is in my blood. And I believe in I wasn't interested in obtaining wealth. I wanted to give back to people. And I became a Wayne County prosecutor. And you surely don't do that for the money. You do it because you care. And I was in a courtroom. I was in a courtroom every day fighting for truth and justice. And I litigated thousands of cases, serious felonies, attempted murder, carjacking, bank robbery, armed robbery, drug trafficking, you name the statute, I've prosecuted the case because I care. And I care about victims. I stay up late, work in my cases. I make sure that they get justice. I make sure that I'm their voice. I don't want the system to roll them over. Fighting judges, fighting defense attorneys, pleading the case to jurors because I care about people that are harmed. And I'm going to be their voice, and I'm going to be their fighter, just like I'm going to be your fighter when we get to Washington, D.C. And I always have the backs of law enforcement. They're part of the forgotten American. And I believe in defending police officers, not defunding them, actually. And I'm proud he wasn't able to make it tonight, but he's a great friend of mine. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the Chief of Shelby Township, Robert Shalai, for this campaign because the officers know that I'm going to have their backs.